So what would you say you're like in the studio? Would you consider yourself to be a perfectionist?
I think I used to be.
Yeah.
You know, but again, when you take, you know, Cupid was being released, it came out in the U.S., and while they're gunning for this certain date, then I had to have my record finished at a certain time, and that almost was at first what I would think would be something that would be, you know, a bit of a, you know, detrimental. You know, I thought it was going to be a problem. It turned out to be kind of a blessing because it allowed me to have to let go of a lot of the ideas that I had, and I ended up hiring, you know, we discussed like Josh Freese on the record, and Tim Pierce is on the record, and Marco's on the record, and these guys are the best of the best, you know, and so you bring the music that you think, you know, the song, I usually demo my songs up quite a lot, like not just a few things, but once I got into the studio environment, I just had to kind of sit back and like trust the process, you know, and realize, okay, these are the best players in the world, so how can I really be dictating what goes on in the studio, you know, because whatever they're going to deliver is going to be a lot better than what I had, and it turns out it was, and the record sounds the way it does because of those guys and not because of me.
So I suppose it's a matter of trusting the people that you've got working alongside you.
Yeah, otherwise what's the point? I mean, it's not if you got like Josh Pierce playing drums on your record, it's probably not the greatest idea to tell him how to play a hi-hat and drum, right? You probably want to let him figure that out on his own, right?
So Cupid's the lead single. It's the one that you've chosen to represent the album. Talk us through that track. How did that come together?
It started off with a friend of mine playing a cajon, which is like a box sort of drum that you sit on, and he was just playing this beat, and I was just messing around with it. Hey, oh, I was just doing that kind of stuff with it, and it, like, at first I thought this is the stupidest thing, like cheesy thing, but we just kind of started developing the song around that, and then before I knew it, you know, we had a really great melody and a hook, and I started writing from that perspective, and then, you know, we came to the subject matter again. It was just really about, you know, having that relationship with someone, and I decided, like, wouldn't it be cool if people could just meet and stay together and like not always have this, you know, and so you kind of like, regardless of your character defects, you sort of still are in love, and you still work through that relationship into the very end, and you know, I think that's kind of how they used to do it when I was a kid. You know, my parents, you know, they fought all the time, you know, but they managed to make it work, and now it's like, you know, like I said in LA, it's kind of funny. It's like you have one argument and you're like phoning your lawyer the next day, you know. So
is that 75% for you?
There is a 75% for you, exactly.
So the album's quite romantic. I mean, you must have played Cupid at some point in your life.
Yeah.
Matchmaker?
Nah, you know, I think a part of our ego, you know, as writers, is like we try to incorporate things that we wish we were, and I'm a pretty shy guy, like, you know, I mean, I come off okay when I'm interviews, and like, when I'm on my own, you know, I'm a very antisocial person, you know, and not because I like to be, but because I'm shy, and I think I've always wanted to be like that, but, you know, I'm not, so it's like, you know, you try to write, pretend, and get to a place where you're being, but yeah, Cupid, nah, not a matchmaker. No.
So, with the promotion of the new record, are you planning any performances over here in the UK to promote it?
Yeah, I mean, I have nothing scheduled at the moment, but I mean, I've kind of made it no secret here. I've been talking to a lot of people, and you know, you review my probably old interviews, you'll know how fond I am of touring in the UK. It's my favorite country to play live in, and it always has been, just based on fans here are so amazing. And so I do have, you know, in my mind, I think we're sort of, you know, what I've been told is we're sort of thinking about maybe being in January, February, if I can't get here before. I think it might be a little early if I start earlier than that. But,
so how do you find the fans over here compared to the ones back in the US and Canada?
They just know music. They know music from their heart. They know it. It's a different vibe. I can't explain it. It's like they have they care about your lyric. They care differently about what the message is, and they know it, and they can sing the song back to you.
Yeah.
And I don't know why that is, or maybe it's just my perception of it, but even if it is my perception, and it's only my perception, then in my heart I know it to be true, and I feed off that. I feed off the audience here. It's like incredible to play for. So
I've got two last questions for you.
Yeah.
What's the most rewarding thing that or the most important thing that you've learned about yourself as an artist over the last, 12 years it's been since you released your debut?
I think the most important thing I've learned is that I can be honest and I can talk about who I really am, and not, not try to edit that in order to get more popular. In other words, I don't try to like say things that or do things that I think that are really out of my character, but the media might pick up on that. I think that's really important for me. That's one thing, and I think the other thing is just being a little bit more honest about things, and not giving a shit, about what people think I should be or do, and being able to set boundaries. I set boundaries with people now, and they don't tell me. I don't let people tell me what to do anymore. That's been so refreshing.
That's good. Very noble as well.
Yeah, I mean, you can let people push you around to a certain extent, but I do the work, and the work's presented to me, and people say, you got to do this, this, and this, and this, and I'm happy to do the work. I love getting, it's a blessing for me to be able to talk to you. I'm very grateful, but I'm not going to do things that aren't healthy for me, or I'm not going to do 19 days straight of promo for the sake of selling 10 more records.
You've got to keep your identity.
A little bit, yeah. You gotta. It's like I said before. It's a balance, And if you have that balance if I have that balance with my home life, if I don't have a family member or people at home being very, very sad, and because I said I was going to come home 2 weeks ago, and I'm not coming home because all of a sudden all this other stuff came in, that's not right for me, And then that makes me unhealthy, and so the balance of having my family and being able to do the work. I can go all day if that's the case.
Yeah. So aside from the promotion of Turn Out the Lights, what else have you got in the pipeline for 2012?
I don't know yet. I try to stay really present in my life. I really believe in doing the work and serving the work, and but I don't make projections.
Keep it spontaneous.
What's that?
Keep it spontaneous.
Well, yeah, just like I think a lot of times when you project, and you're like, okay, what else do I have coming? You can really set yourself up for disappointment, So I just live it one day at a time. I know that sounds cheesy, but it really works when you do that. If you just like, okay, here's today, and then we'll talk about tomorrow.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for chatting with us.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's nice talking to you.